All right, thank you guys for joining us for the No Name Nonsense podcast. Again, check out our playlist under DJ Tunes and Corny J under Spotify. So we're going to talk a little bit about Mr. West. DJ, what you got on Mr. West?
New Moses.
Hey.
So apparently Kanye has said he's not going to release any albums until he's released from Universal. He is no longer a slave to, I guess, the record label.
Okay.
And wants to be released before he released any new music.
Treat us just like slaves.
That's the claim.
Can I just say something real quick?
Oh, go for it.
He shouldn't be releasing any albums until he's gotten himself back to a good mental state. Seriously. Don't be releasing any albums until you get yourself better. Go rest and relax. Because the stuff that you're putting out now is garbage.
Wow. Man, she
I said it.
Garbage. Okay.
Shots fired.
Garbage.
Hey.
Shots fired.
Hey, we don't want no smoke with the Kardashians.
He put out... Look.
Don't want it. Don't need it.
He put out... Back in the day, he was putting out quality tracks. Now it sounds like a fifth grader. It got a Yamaha keyboard as, hey mama, I'm going to be the next, rap star. And then it puts that tune on a loop like dun, 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 dun. And then you add like words.
Yeah.
A, B, C's, 1, 2, 3s,
wow.
closed on Sunday.
Kanye may show up at your house when you talking to him.
Sure.
He may show up.
Just leave your Grammy at home.
He'd be like Publishers Clearinghouse on your ass. Show with a big check.
I don't care.
Oh, man.
He go ahead.
I'm just going to say, like, all right, cool. I mean, if you're going to want to not release music till you let out your deal, whatever, they still probably own your masters. So they're still making money while you don't make any more new music. Yeah. So that's one. Two, I didn't get why all of a sudden he was like, music industry and like the NBA are like slave ships. Like, does he not realize the NBA is probably the biggest sport that has predominantly black players that have probably the most power in any other sport for black players? So that's kind of weird. I know he's probably making an inference, but you can look at football, which is way worse. Hockey. I mean, you can go through so many other sports before you get to the NBA. So that was weird. The other part of it is that if you're going to do this with your music, I need you to keep that same energy with your fashion, because you produce fashion that someone else gets paid off as well that doesn't do the work you're doing. I need you to keep that same energy with all your, adventures and expenditures. Like, I know the Kardashian show is ending, but you are getting paid from that show that is on someone else's network. That, like, if your goal is independence, you have a lot of other money streams that are coming in that someone else is eating off of as well. Because that's your argument with the music industry, is that they are treating you guys like slaves because you do all the work, you got all the talent, and you can easily distribute your stuff now because nobody gets CDs and tapes anymore. And they're not giving you bigger portions and cuts. Cool, I'm with you on that one. But then, again, same energy, your shoes.
Yeah.
I mean, Adidas is getting paid some profit from that.
Exactly.
Like, all other stuff that you're into, somebody's making a profit off of that as well. So, is your argument too that you're going to start with the music industry and then keep going through the other industries? Maybe he is. So, I don't know. But it was just a weird thing just to come out and then saying, what was it? J. Cole and somebody owes him an apology and...
Like, what are you talking about, bro?
You signed...
Where are you going with this?
Yeah. You sign contracts. You signed a contract saying, okay, I'm going to sign with this label, I'm going to sign with this company, and this is how it's going to be. Okay, I agree to that. Just because you don't like the contract anymore doesn't mean you have to be all, such a big baby about it. Well, and the reason that I compared it to a fifth grader learning how to be on the Yamaha keyboard, not to offend any fifth graders out there, no, but when you're young and you're a kid... Why are you laughing? I'm sorry. It's like when you're a kid, you were just learning how to rhyme and how to play, music and how,
You're just not getting your rhythm down.
Exactly. Yes.
You're just not being able to bob your head to the beat.
Thank you. You were learning rhythm.
I see a child development.
But then you get to, Kanye, 10 years ago, where he is just pushing out the quality content, and then he's resorting back to, okay, well, I'm just gonna be, lazy. Don. And what kind of, that's not quality content that you provided us 10 years ago. Obviously, you're going through something, and we get it. If you're going through something personal, or if you're just in a little rut right now, then take the time and relax and rejuvenate. Don't be dogging on the company that pays you and help makes you.
Well, okay. I'm gonna push back a little bit on the contract thing, because we have a habit as Americans, and maybe it's all over the world, but I know as Americans, we have a bad habit of being like, oh, you signed a contract, you should do X, Y, and Z. We never hold that same accountability to corporate. Like, if they wanted to release Kanye West right now and not pay him no more dime and rip up his contract, they would do that. And then nobody would be saying, well, he signed a contract, you should pay him the rest of his money. I mean, we just talked about the NFL. The NFL is a perfect example of that. They get rid of your contract and get rid of you. I don't hear nobody in the NFL being like, whoa, he signed a 6-year deal. You need to pay him for 6. It's done. But as soon as you're in your 4th year and say, nah, I'll perform this contract, I want a new one, everybody jumps and kills the athlete or the... Actually, let's be real. Everybody kills the product. And I using this word intentional. Like, when you do something that someone else benefits from, you are a product. We want to make words like, oh, employee or share. No, you are a product. Because if you stop doing what you're doing, either they have to find a new product or they can't run business. So as him being a product, if he doesn't make any more music, you would think it would hurt their bottom line because they're not able to profiteer on them. But because how the music industry is, you don't have to make any more music, and they can still make money off of you, and you don't see any money because they own your music. So in the essence, where he talks about the slave thing, I get that correlation. If a slave works, that is their work product that someone else is benefiting from that they are not. So people will say, well, he's benefiting because he gets money from it, but if Kanye West doesn't be Kanye West, the record company has no music to sell.
Him being Kanye West, he doesn't act like himself anymore. Well, he has lost his mind.
Or he's just so far ahead of us that we don't know what he's talking about. That's what we told Nick Cannon.
So he's like beyond.
Yeah, because he's like, oh, people be bringing up my old stuff now to how it makes sense. But when I said it back in the day, I said I was crazy then too, which is true. But so maybe he's just so far ahead of us that we just, we hustling backwards and we don't know it.
So far ahead of what?
Could very well be true.
I'm just pointing out what he said and what he,
But for those of you that have read what he did to his lovely little Grammy, I mean, I'm sorry, I would be praising that award. It would be on a pedestal in my living room with lights on it. Not to the subject of someone's, well, what's the appropriate term I'm looking for?
Urination?
Sure.
Well, but we know the Grammys has a history of being kind of racially insensitive.
Okay, I get that, but there's other ways that he could bring awareness to it, not,
Or
you know what I'm saying.
Maybe his message is that he no longer idolizes his Grammy anymore because he's found God and he only idolizes one thing, which is God.
Okay, well, he doesn't have to urinate on it. He could just put it away in a box, lock it up, and be like, I'm not going to pay attention to the Grammys anymore. I'm going to pay attention to the good Lord's book. Let us open the book to page whatever. But not, publicly do something inappropriate to a award.
That brings up a weird thought process line we're going to save it for another show to talk about,
I'm just trying to be neutral.
Nationalism and pledging allegiance to a country as a religious person, is that sacrilegious? But we're going to save that conversation for another show.
Oh, boy.
I think that's going to be a fun
I didn't mean to open up that box.
No, I'm just saying how my brain works and weird stuff like that.
So,
CJ, what you got for us?
With that being said,
have
we officially lost the old Ye for good?
Yes. Yes, we have. We've lost Kanye.
Can we bury him and just put him away?
He's not going to be the same again.
You know what? Maybe
he's not going to be the same Kanye.
I'm an old Ye truther. I'm
holding out hope, bro.
I'm still holding on,
he's
bro.
Gone. He's
gone. I'm still holding on.
If you're gonna,
so you still holding on? You say he's gone.
I say he's gone. He can come back, but he's gonna have to again rest up and just take some time for himself.
Okay. Ice up, son.
It's gonna take a little bit more more than rest.
Look, I'm just saying, when you don't feel like yourself some days, you got to take a personal day and you relax and why are you doing that?
That's how much hope I got left. That's how much hope I got left.
Rejuvenate. But he's not the same Kanye. And if he's not going to take the time to take care of himself, we're not going to have the old Kanye back.
Yeah.
We're going to have another Kanye, and it's going to be like, well, what did we sign up for here?
We ain't gonna be ready for
that. We're not gonna be ready for it.
When was the last sighting of the old Ye?
Whew.
How long has it been since we've seen the old?
You don't want me to answer that question.
Ye.
Let's see.
How long has it been? We're in 2020.
A long time.
First
when
release.
Was
first album release
Pablo.
was 04.
When did he marry Kim Kardashian?
Pablo was around 12, 13, 14 maybe?
I'm going to say Pablo.
You gonna say Pablo?
Pablo, because he fell off a little bit too when we was questioning him, and he came with Pablo. With that heat.
After Yeezus.
Yeah.
Yeezus came out, and he was like, "What the?"
Yeah, and he came with that heat with Pablo, and I'm gonna say that was the last time.
That was the last time, but yeah.
But if you want to be really 100%, I'm gonna say my Dark Twisted Fantasies.
Yeah.
Which I think is his best album. I know everybody's gonna kill me for that. That's another subject for another day. Best Kanye album.
That was actually the next question. What is your favorite Ye song and or album?
Dark Twisted Fantasy is my favorite Kanye album. I would say I have a tie for favorite song with Monster on Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Yeah.
And my other one would be... I can't think of the name of the song though. I think it was on... I can't think of the song now. I drew a blank.
Okay.
Was everything make me feel so good? Everything song I thought.
I'm looking it up.
I can't think.
College.
I'm looking.
I think that was College Dropout, maybe. Oh no, I think that was Graduation.
Graduation.
Because it was after the Brandy song.
I was just listening to it.
I can't think of it. Oh man, it's gonna kill me now.
Yeah.
Wait. You said it was from Yeezus?
No. From I think it was Graduation.
Yeah. So here we are. Graduation is called I Wonder, and then there's Good Morning, and then Good Life.
No, it would be an album cut. Yeah, it'd be an album cut. I can't think of it, but yeah, those are my two. So I'm just gonna go with Monster, so that's the one I remember because Monster probably had the best Nicki Minaj verse of all time. Probably one of the best rap verses of all time from Nicki, but that song was just dope. I mean, you get Jay on it, you get Rick, you get Kanye, you get Nicki, a young Nicki. So I'm gonna go Monster.
I like Monster, but I also like Stronger. Old school Kanye.
Yeah.
Because every time I watch The Hangover.
What's the name of that group?
Daft Punk.
Daft Punk.
Yeah.
Daft Punk. Yeah, that's a classic.
And those are two good songs, and this is why I question the quality of Kanye's work now, because we've all heard the infamous "Closed on Sundays."
Mm-hmm.
I heard
he
that
always had like trashy songs. I mean, like Hot Drunk Girls.
Yeah,
like he's always had trash songs once in a while. When you be like Barry Bonds, which I like Barry Bonds, but most people would say Barry Bonds wasn't a great song on.
It was a.
That was Graduation. That was Graduation. I think.
Graduation. It was on Graduation with Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think the one song I'm thinking about is Late Registration.
Yeah.
I think the one I'm thinking about is on Late Registration. But anyway, yeah. He's always had a couple of.
But my favorite too was actually my beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
I love that album.
Yeah, and one of the main reasons why that one was actually one of my personal favorites because I'm a huge Wu-Tang fan, and he worked with RZA on that album.
Yes.
The opening intro, Dark Twisted Fantasy, and then also Appalled.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, so Appalled. I don't know if you remember that track.
Yep.
And then
Jay-Z was on that track too.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then one of my personal favorites on that track was Devil in a New Dress for Rick Ross. That was so fun.
You see but you think she got... Oh, let me get you started. Yeah. Ross go off. He get off on that too.
Yeah, man. For sure,
Kanye,
man. Damn, we missed the old Ye. Please come back.
Well, that's why I say I'm holding out a little bit of hope. And that's why I'm saying, because people forget the atmosphere around Kanye when he made Dark Twisted Fantasy. If you remember, that was post Taylor Swift, where everybody hated Kanye. Because so he had all this turmoil. Remember, even he talks about how he just was like, I'm just going to disappear, make this album, and make this album so ridiculously dope that everybody going to have to shut up. Mm-hmm. That's why I had that little bit of hope that all this that we're piling on him, I'm hoping that he's just like, because even with all the stuff we're piling on him, artists still want to work with him. Mm-hmm. So I'm hoping that he can harness all that energy and just sit in the studio
Yeah.
and just give me another Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Fly out to Hawaii like he does
Right,
for 808s.
right. And just
reason,
make a filthy album and just go for it. But
all
he's
the
on
more
the price thing,
reason,
so I don't know if it's gonna happen.
all the more reason why he needs to rest up. Because when you rest up, your mind is open to new opportunities for songs. And shout out to Taylor Swift for, getting all savage indirectly in her music videos and songs about her little beef with Kanye. Because I remember sitting in a dorm room visiting my friend in college, and we were watching the VMAs when that happened, and I literally was like, this is not happening, oh my god, this is happening, did this happen? And it was so just surreal.
I will never say that Kanye made her famous, because that's one of those lines that he made.
Kanye did not
I will
make
not say
Taylor
that,
famous.
but I will say this. Black people only know her because of Kanye West. When it happened, I didn't know who the hell Taylor Swift was. Mm-hmm. I didn't know why this was important, that people were so upset. So I'm like, just admit up to this little white girl. It's all good. Like, because he was saying the truth. Like, let's be frank here. Single Ladies video was one of the best videos of all time. If you want to keep it 100% from just from choreograph standpoint, Beyonce and them crew danced through that whole video from beginning to end. I don't even know what Taylor Swift video that one was.
I don't even remember.
I think it was You Belong With Me.
Oh my god.
But remember, hold on, I have a defense for that.
Okay.
Time out, I have a defense.
Oh my god.
I have a defense for that, okay? So yes, Taylor won that category, but Beyonce won a more substantial category, so she did get recognition. She did. She won a more substantial, I think it was Best Artist of the Year?
She should have cleaned house.
She cleaned the house. She got an award, she got the most substantial award of the entire evening, and Taylor, who was just starting out, got that award for hers. So I think in the end, both ladies deserved the respective awards. They're both great artists, and I think what Beyonce did, at the end when she took her time and was like, you know what, I was young once, just starting out, so I'm going to give it to Taylor, and she's going to finish her acceptance speech. Mm-hmm. I thought that was very classy of Beyonce.
For sure. Oh, yeah. Beyonce's
very classy. So, mad props to Beyonce. And that is my defense for Taylor. Because, and the thing about it is,
I respect that.
I think with Kanye really opened up Taylor's, I don't want to say self-esteem, so to speak, but I will give him credit for this. It really opened up her, I have a spine, and I'm going to use it.
Man, I'm not going to clap on Taylor. I ain't going to clap on Taylor on this one. We're going to say that topic for another day. Because me and my wife have talked about this before. Taylor's, I ain't going to clap on her. I'm going to let her ride, because I got other feelings about what you're saying about Taylor Swift.
She grew a spine after that Kanye episode.
I think a lot of that stuff, Kanye exposed something about her that people don't want to realize, and I think it's some deeper levels to that I feel about it when it comes to black men and white women and how that's treated and viewed. And I think she kind of played some situations and cards that historically we're used to in America that made her very sympathetic.
In other words, she finessed it.
But when I say that, nobody want to talk about that. They like, oh, nah, because Kanye... I agree he's an asshole, but again, we're going to say that topic for another dope show.
We'll get back to that.
Think about it. If there's one thing that Kanye did, it showed her that, you need to stand up for yourself. And she did. Later. But during that whole VMA thing, she just kind of stood there like, well, what the hell happened?
Kanye was on the yak, bro. He told you. He said he was on that hen dog.
Did he ever apologize for that?
I doubt it.
Did he ever apologize to Taylor? Like, man, I'm sorry I was, drinking a little too much of that,
that Henny.
Whatever that stuff he was drinking, and was like, man, I'm sorry.
Was he still with Amber Rose back then, too? I don't remember. Yeah. She fine. I just want to break up her name.
He just, shrugged and walked it off, and Taylor's just standing there like, what just happened? But Kanye, we hope that you get well soon.
We do too. Remember to check out our playlist on DJ Tunes and Cordy J on Spotify. We have a playlist again. Has this podcast content with some songs in between. So if you wanted to hear some Kanye songs before we talked about Kanye, the playlist is where you're going to listen to it. And then we're going to go into some other stuff and play some songs between there. So again, check us out. We are the newly done, as of today, No Name NonSense podcast. So hopefully you guys enjoy it.